Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today I am reviewing The Last of Us Part 1. So this is an action, story-driven horror type game. Everybody's probably heard of it. There's a new Netflix special that's out, and that's the main reason that I'm replaying this. I played it once back on the PS4. I never played the PS3 version, and this is the third version, third console this has been on. 3, 4, PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, which is crazy. And there was some controversy surrounding this one because it's the Last of Us Part 1 remake or remaster. I don't even know what it is. But anyway, this is the very beginning. I won't go into any spoilers, but I'm going to go over the same 5 categories I always do: graphics, performance, gameplay slash story, replayability, then fun factor. Give each category a score from 1 to 10, average it up, and then talk about the game a little bit. So, we'll start with the graphics. Graphics to me are a 10 out of 10, even for a game that was made, man, I don't even know if this is this a decade old now? I mean, it's old. An older game. It looks really, really good. They've done some work here, obviously. 4K. I'm running it on the PS5 Pro, so this is the best this game has ever looked. And hopefully they won't remaster this again or whatever, but who knows. Next category is performance. This gets a 10 out of 10 as well. No issues. This has had, like I said, a long time to bake in the oven, and they've pretty much ironed out all the kinks. So I didn't have any crashes or bugs or anything like that, really. Um, the only thing that I'll say about performance, and I won't even dock it for this, is like I saw a picture kind of floating one time, um, and I don't know. I guess this would be a graphical. Back to graphics for a second. So that 10 out of 10 for performance. I just saw one time saw one picture that was just shivering. Um, but I put a picture in. You'll see some screenshots coming up, and you'll see some glasses like at a bar, like some drinking glasses, look really bizarre in this game. In fact, the first time I noticed it, I thought that something just didn't render in, like it was almost like a blank spot. So that was really weird, and I'm not sure. I'm not gonna dock graphics for that anyway, but you'll see it coming up. So performance 10. Next category is gameplay slash story, and of course I'm gonna have the most to say about this category. So we'll start with the story. Um, the story truly is amazing. This is some of the best storytelling that you'll ever find in a video game. It's just incredible. It's dramatic. Some sad parts, of course. It's a brutal game. But the story, just the way it's told, the presentation is awesome. It really is. And I can't wait to watch the Netflix special. I think season 1 is based on episode 1 or part 1, and then season 2 will be based on The Last of Us Part 2, which I've never played. Um, but anyway, so storytelling is just incredible. Like, there's the characters are really fleshed out, and you feel like you kind of get to know them, and they go through a lot together. So that's all I'll say about the story. It's amazing. If you haven't experienced it, I would definitely recommend playing it just for the story alone. Um, then we're going to go to the gameplay. Um, so the first time I played this game, I was going into it just ready to be just awed. This is a buddy of mine. I think this is his favorite game of all time. You hear a lot of people say that this is their favorite game of all time. It is definitely not my favorite game of all time. Um, in fact, it's good, but I don't even put it like uh, into like top tier. I think it's a good game, solid game. Um, but the gameplay to me gets old. It's maybe too long of the same thing. I wrote too much of the same just over and over. You're of course you're in a ravaged world by zombies, right? So there's going to be zombies around like every corner, but it just kind of you're going from one set piece to the next set piece and either fighting zombies or humans, and it just kind of just wears on you a little bit. You're just kind of at one point I was just ready to progress the story. Like I stopped even like looking for stuff as much. Like my buddy followed a guide and platinum for this game. I would never follow a guide, because I don't want to. When I play a story-based game, I want to enjoy the story, like really focus on it, and I'm not going to spoil anything for myself by looking at guides to see what's coming up, what area I need to be watching out for. So there's a lot of collectibles to find in every nook and cranny. It's kind of, this may be just kind of a knock against video games in general, but I've said stuff like this before, but there's like scissors, a little water bottle, and bandit. It's just the same 3 or 4 items you're picking up constantly, trying to make the same 4 items constantly. Really, all you're using is bandages and maybe the grenade little explosion things. Um, the stealth is just so basic. In fact, clickers, they make this like echolocation kind of thing to find you. Just walk slow. They become a non-threat once you figure out, how to defeat them because the stealth is so ridiculously easy, and just basic. It's just I don't know, man. The gameplay in this is just, you know, I guess it's good for an older game. I don't know, man. I'm ready for just new mechanics. You come up to a ledge, you see like simple puzzles. Like, how do I get out of here? You lift Ellie up to get a ladder. She pushes the ladder down. You carry the ladder over here. You move something. It's always push something under something or push something to climb up on top of it or lift your buddy up. It's just very, very basic. And just most people are probably not going to agree with me, but the gameplay loop of this, there's some stuff that I really like. I like how you upgrade your weapons. You're constantly making your gear better, extra holsters to hold extra stuff. That's really cool, and the way they present that's really cool. You go to like a workbench and you really, shows him kind of working on his stuff, his gear, which is cool. But I don't know, man. This game's just it's good, and I do recommend you play it. But I was kind of ready for it to be over, to be honest. And then I played the DLC Left Behind, which is only like 2.5 hours, and it's just the exact same thing. You're still gathering the same 3 or 4 items, you know, water, the little square bandage thing, and you're making the same items like the smoke bomb thing. I never even made that the whole game. Um, you didn't need to, and there's sorry. The only 2 items to throw, you got bottles and bricks everywhere. Bottles and bricks, bottles and bricks. You throw the bottle, you throw the brick to distract the enemy, then walk up behind them. I mean, these enemies are dumb, including not just the zombies. The humans are dumb. The thing that really saves this game is the story. It's a story-based game. So, but I'll never play this game again. Probably, I do not. I'm not interested in getting the platinum in this game. I had a solid time. Storytelling is incredible. It really carries this game. But like, just weird issues I have with the game. Like, for instance, you shoot a bunch of enemies that are obvious. They're shooting at you. I would say 80% of them you can't pick up any ammo off of them. You see their gun sitting there sometimes, and you just no ammo in that gun. They must have shot their last bullet. What are the odds of that? Just stuff like that. It's just kind of weird, simple. Like it's like you're getting shot at constantly, but ammo's scarce sometimes. It just doesn't make sense. Let's see. So that's it for gameplay. I think this is fair. I'm giving story would be a 10. Gameplay is like a 6 or a 7. I'm going to give gameplay slash story an 8. I think that's fair because the story is incredible, and that's really what you're playing this game for. Is I give it an 8. Um, replayability. I'm going to give it a higher score here for me, a 6, because there's a ton of collectibles, different difficulty settings, a ton of stuff to like unlock through the menus. There's the DLC that's included, although it's really short. This is a linear-based story game, but there's more to it than meets the eye. I'll just say that. So I'm going to give replayability a 6. Fun factor, at first I said the same thing the first time I played this game. I saw an old video of mine. I don't even know, 8 or 10 years ago. I did a PS3 or 4 collection, and at the time I only had like 20 PS4 games, and I was showing them, and I got to The Last of Us, and I made a comment saying that everybody, I think I said boasts, dumb word, but everybody kind of talks this game up, and it was just okay to me, and that's what I feel like. Kind of still, it's a good game. It's there's nothing wrong with it. It's very well made. Its presentation's incredible, but the gameplay is very basic. It's just very. I don't know. It gets old to me. So um, I'm not looking forward to the second one because it's the same crap. I bet you're just going from section to section, finding stuff to shooting guys, shooting guys, finding stuff. Puzzles are just brain dead. Basically, bring the ladder over here, move this to climb on it. I don't know, man. I'm just ready for somebody to shake stuff up a little bit. And maybe the second one does. I don't know. Fun factor, I'm going to give a 7. I had a good enough time with the game. I'm glad I played it. Glad I gave this game a second shot. You know, um, and here's a bunch of screenshots I was talking about. The game is extremely violent, not for kids, beautiful. But while you look at these screenshots, graphics, I'm going to recap. Graphics a 10, performance a 10, gameplay/story an 8, replayability a 6, fun factor a 7. That averages it out to a 8.2 out of 10. You can see the stealth here. You just hold in a button and you see the enemies glow, which, whatever. You can upgrade all these abilities and stuff. You meet a bunch of characters. You know, um, it's a good game. And it really wows you looking at the graphics, In the first, like, 2 or 3 hours, you're kind of heart's racing. This game's look at the glasses. This is what I was talking about. It almost looks like it's not being rendered right. Like it looks very odd. Um, but I would say half this game they could have cut 25%, 30% off this game and it would have been just fine. I think it was too long of the same crap. There wasn't enough things to break up the monotony of doing the same thing. And looking, trying to do this without a guide, trying to platinum this, no way, because you're going to be running in every single nook and cranny. You can see that's kind of what I'm doing here, looking for all these collectibles. And after a while, there's not enough stuff to do. You know, I don't know. It's a weird critique, I guess, but it's a survival game. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's just not for me, you know, as much. Like people love this game, and I think you should experience this game, see what you think. But when I hear people say this is their favorite game of all time, I just don't get it. Um, but a solid 8.2. Um, that's really all I've got to say. There's one part that's really, really cool that I won't ruin. Um, but yeah, there was a few mini games. There was darts at one point, I think, but maybe something else would have been cool. I don't know how they could have switched it up, but fighting humans as zombies, zombies and humans, humans then zombies, and just you're constantly coming to another room with a bunch of guys. Let's get her. Where did she go? I don't know, man. Just kind of a little draining. And then when I played the DLC and he's the exact same thing, um, with some good storytelling. I was just like, man, I'm over this. I'm glad the DLC wasn't 5 or 6 hours. 2.5 was plenty. And it's weird. I wonder how much they charged for that 2.5 hours. Look, here you go. There's a ladder. Shocking. You come up and press triangle. Oh, get the ladder. I can't climb up there. I don't know, man. Anyway, um, it's a good game, although I just dogged it a bunch. 8.2. The Last of Us Part 1. That's all I got. SirVern out.
Ellie, the ladder. What is it? Ellie! Ellie!
You gotta see this.
What is it? What the hell is